with a white balloon with the Roadrunner on one side and the Coyote on the other side. And that actually was on the cover of the 1973 and I believe 74 programs.
It is. I've got it at home.
Big icon around those first World Championships. My friends Barbara Fricke and Peter Cuneo decided that they wanted to honor that legacy and those times as well. So they have built that white one we were just looking at with the red top, and that is a replica of the Roadrunner Coyote balloon. It's a little bit smaller. The first one was 105,000 cubic feet. This is 90,000. You can kind of see the Coyote from this side. We were seeing the Roadrunner from the other side. But it has the pennants. It has the red top. It has the red and white skirt at the bottom. So they unveiled that balloon. Now, they told the local balloon club about it on Tuesday, but it basically made its first official flight yesterday. Now, because it's home built, it's an experimental, and it needed some test flight hours in it. So for the last month, we've been testing that balloon and putting test flights in it.
Trying to fly it in secret.
Try, yeah,
as much as you can.
How do you hide a balloon? That's
right. I'm going to go fly a balloon, but don't look.
Don't look. Don't take pictures. And
don't look, asshole.
Yeah, and if you do look, don't post it anywhere. So they're standing it up out there now.
Well, and you had the honor of putting some of those hours on that balloon.
I did. I got the last 45 minutes on it before yesterday's flight. So that was an honor to be able to fly that. Flies like a dream. So we're seeing some of the others out there as well. Standing up on the right, that's. It's Gary Moore.
Yeah, I always call it the Pink Floyd balloon, and that's not the name of it. Timepiece.
It ends in Timepiece 2020, I think, in that. And off to the left of there, that's Bill Lee in the New Mexico True balloon.
Yep.
And so True Lee, and I should call up my list to tell you who they are actually representing as we stand these up. Again, these were ones that we flew yesterday from Coronado, representing the original 13.
For the 50th, but the event has always had a very good ongoing relationship with the Chuck Jones studio. I'm kind of curious. I'm not sure I know how that ever got started.
I'm not exactly sure either, other than I think my sense is the early days we kind of just picked up on those guys and somehow got connected with them and started using those. And then we kind of moved away from that for many, many years.
Right.
And as we got closer to the 50th, we, I think, reached out to them and said, you know, we gallery, they continue to kind of manage all that. So we were talking with them, and so we decided that we would make a series of 4 posters featuring those characters.
Exactly, yeah.
And it turned into a series of 5.
5, right.
And so
in part because of the pandemic.
Exactly.
Yes.
So kind of a good news thing there. And so it was, it's been really great. And it's really kind of, it worked so well over the last 3 or 4 years that now here in year 5, it has really exploded.
Yeah.
And it is really great. Chuck Jones, Craig and Chuck Jones gallery have a gallery and a tent down. There on the field. They've got a lot of Chuck Jones original prints.
I've got to get by there then.
You've got to go by and see that. They've been in business since the 70s and first time have made a pin.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's got Pepe Le Pew on it.
That's not going to be around very long.
Yeah.
At all.
A nice heart in that. So it's going to be a great.
Well, I still have, because I remember that relationship from when I was flying here years ago, and the chase flags for a number of years were sponsored by the Chuck Jones studio, and so each one had a Coyote Roadrunner theme. You had that, and I've got a couple of those chase flags at home in my
guess what?
memorabilia.
We haven't done chase flags for a number of years. They're back this year.
Oh, really? We brought them back.
Yes.
And they're Chuck Jones.
Yes, they are.
Illustrations. Outstanding.
Yes, they are. So you'll see those on our trucks as well.
Well, if any pilot out there doesn't want their chase flag when Fiesta is done with, please come see me. I'll trade you an official announcer pin for one, or maybe 2 pins.
So Judy Nakamura, who has the Fiesta Gold balloon, that's the one we see in the forefront there. She is representing Carter Tweet, who was one of the original pilots, and
Okay.
Carter is still alive. There are 4 of the original 13
Who are
still
still with
alive.
us? Yeah.
3 of them are here,
Outstanding.
and the families are here for all of the others. The Fiesta balloon we've been talking about that Ray Bear is flying represents Gene Dennis, and he is another one of the surviving pilots. We mentioned the Dark Side 2020 is your Pink Floyd balloon.
Okay.
Dark Side is its name these days. Dark Side 2020, that's Gary Moore, and he is representing Dennis Floden, who is the 3rd surviving pilot who happens to be here
Captain
as well.
Fogg.
Yeah. And if I can kind of go from the right side of that picture, if you guys will just stay on that for a minute. The teal one there is the Realty 1 balloon that's being flown by Jaybird Mason. He is representing Bill Cutter. Bill was Sid's brother.
Yes.
Yeah, and was instrumental there in the very first flight that Bill and Sid ever took in a balloon.
Unintentional flight.
Depending on who you talk
Well,
to.
okay,
Depending
that's
on
the
who you
story
talk
I've
to.
always heard.
Yeah, yeah. Next to that is the Crystal Blue balloon of Toby Brown's. He is representing Brent Stockwell. And then next to that, let's see, that is, where is he? Oh, Flying Circus with Neil Jackson. And he is representing Oscar Kratz. We mentioned that Barbara Fricke and Peter Cuneo have the Roadrunner Coyote balloon. They are representing Wilma Picard. So people always ask, when was the first female pilot at Balloon Fiesta?
Year 1.
In 1972.
That's
Year
right.
1. In fact, we talked about this being a Roadrunner Coyote balloon race.
Yep.
Wilma came in second.
Wilma came in second. That's right.
Wilma came in second. So the orange and yellow one that's kind of a little on the left of the screen there, that is our Krispy Kreme balloon being flown by Jeff Duff. And he is representing Don Picard, Wilma's husband, who came in first.
Yes.
His distance was 184 feet. Wilma's was 206, so only 20 feet difference.
But think of that distance, 184 feet. We just finished a world championship where first and second place would have been separated by millimeters.
Yeah.
Millimeters.
Yeah.
Mere fragments of an inch.
Yep.
And yet in 1972, 100 plus feet was first place. We've come a long way, baby. We have come a long way. There's the Krispy Kreme logo on the side of the balloon. Of course, Krispy Kreme always the sponsor of this sort of interim activity that brings us from the Dawn Patrol show up to the flight of the nation, the flight of the balloon of the day. Sorry.
And we are getting close to our opening ceremonies and our national anthem. Some special activities going on as well.
Right.
One of the other shots that we had out there was the solid orange balloon out there. That is Orange Crush, and that is being flown by David Bristol, and he is representing Carl Steffen.
Although at the moment it looks like
he was going up, and now the top's been pulled
Yeah, the
out.
top's been pulled and he's deflating, so maybe they're going to reset something and start over.
And actually beyond them, I do see our
I think our Rainbow Riders
ride
are
balloons. And here's a shot of the flag being prepared. And that would be the Exxon Mobil balloon standing up right behind the back of that shot. And you can see we're in the spirit of Fiesta balloon, looking at the Fiesta Gold balloon right next to us.
Yep, and you can see there around Fiesta Gold, one of the special nuances to the design of that balloon is that there are replica images of the original 13 balloons on that 50th Fiesta balloon.
That was another one of the surprises. Not only that we made this balloon here last year, but when we unveiled it, all of those balloons are on the side.
Balloons were there.
And the replica of Sid at the top.
The silhouette of Sid up at the top, yeah. Yeah, I can still remember the excitement when they inflated that on the last, actually it was going to be on Sunday, the closing day for Fiesta, and last year the weather was questionable, or the forecast looked like it would be questionable, so we moved it up to the final Saturday. And I can remember the excitement on the field as people gathered around to see that balloon inflated for the first time.
There's Orange Crush standing up.
There
now.
he is.
Got whatever he needed reset.
Yeah. Rainbow Riders now beginning to take shape on a couple of rows back from the Krispy Kreme group. and they just celebrated their 40th anniversary of operations.
Yeah, pretty incredible.
Scotty Appleman, our good friend who runs Rainbow Riders. Congratulations to him and his entire team. I've got some family coming out from Texas tomorrow, a couple of my cousin and her husband, and in our various texts, she had said they were hoping to take a balloon ride, and so I said, well, you need to get in touch with Rainbow Riders. I don't know if it was too late by then or not, because I know sometimes they sell out very quickly.
They were sold out months in advance.
I would have thought so for the 50th.
Months in advance this year, yeah.
So I don't know if they're getting a balloon ride or not. My suspicion would be probably not. I think they were probably too late in planning that this year. But they'll be here and hopefully going to come say hello to us on the roof tomorrow morning.
That will be fun.
Yeah. My cousin Patty is daughter of my mom's brother, Uncle Don.
This is a good time to talk about the design of a balloon. You see that fabric that's kind of just hanging loose there. That is the parachute top, the one we talked about with Sid, et cetera, on the Fiesta Gold balloon.
Right.
But that is the vent that is being tabbed in with Velcro tabs by those crew folks. That's only held in by the Velcro tabs when it's on the ground,
on the side. Right. Air pressure holds it in place once the balloon's inflated.
And they'll pull all those Velcro tabs loose once they stand up. And then the rope coming from the center of that is the crown line, controlled by a crew person who will use that to help stabilize the balloon on inflation and use it to help bring the balloon down on deflation. And so they'll continue to put those tabs in as the air fills in, and they'll stretch it out so that it gets nice and fully packed with cold air before they ever turn the burners on.
That's a maneuvering bit. When I'm trying to explain that to crowds at balloon rallies, I'm sure you may use the same analogy. I explain it a lot of times. It's like a cork in a bottle. You can pop the cork and everything comes out of the bottle, but you can put the cork back in and it seals it back in place. Yeah. Dave Turley just said hello on our feed. And Dave, I hope you noticed I am wearing your pin this morning. Dave is one of the pilots over in England that was at Longleat with us, and he came up and handed me this pin right
there you go.
Right there, and said, be sure that you're wearing that at Fiesta. He's going to be looking for it. So, Dave, I hope you saw that I'm wearing your pin this morning. Haven't done a lot of pin trading yet.
Send money.
Yes, send money. Right, yeah.
Or more pins.
That's a promotional announcement that went worldwide. The impressions are goodness knows how many, so you owe me a lot of money, Dave. Yeah. No, that just, again, speaks to what Jewel was expressing in her thoughts, that what an amazing world it is that we live in, and how ballooning does help you to make friends. I've got friends around the world that I would never know if it were not for the sport of ballooning.
It's now time for the national anthem and the launch of our balloon of the day. Please direct your attention to the balloons and the national anthem from the choir of the Cathedral of St. John's. the choir from the Cathedral of St. John, all of our burners from our balloon pilots, and a flyover by the Chili Express.
Our presenting sponsor balloon from ExxonMobil. We're powered by ExxonMobil this year, also airborne, flying the New Mexico state flag with us.
And we're going to watch for the Chili Express to come back over the field in just a few moments.
Look at that aerial shot. I'm looking at a monitor that you can't see, where we're seeing our Balloon Fiesta live camera in the balloon.
That's the delay. They just saw that.
Okay.
That's the delay shot.
All right. So the people did see it.
They
Good.
saw it. Yeah, you're just catching up.
Well, I'm not sure which monitor to look at to see what. This is probably the only place in the world where I am technically challenged to see what's going on. Wow, that was an awesome shot. Look at that. There's the balloon with the flag. There's the Chili flight, and then all the burners. Got it all in one picture.
And the shot from our balloon cam is we're just south of the field. There was a quick shot of our glamping area. And our Chili flight should be swinging back around here momentarily from the east side of the field. I think I hear him.
Well, I'm looking to the east. There's a helicopter out there. There's also a drone up over there.
There is one drone that is allowed to fly here at Balloon Fiesta.
Well, that's probably, actually, there's a couple of media helicopters over around the Sandias, it looks like.
They can be up there.
Yeah.
But there is a TFR, or a temporary flight restriction, for 4 miles around the park. So no aircraft, and drones are aircraft. Here comes the Chili Express back.
Right.
No aircraft other than those specifically authorized and registered with Balloon Fiesta can be in that area 4 miles around the park.
Smoke on from Chili flight. Well, if you look right around the corner of the building, you'll see the drone just
I can
over
see
the arroyo there. That bird was not a drone. Big bird just flew right past in front of us. Here comes Chili flight. As they do a formation breakout to all the different directions of the compass.
A group of volunteers that fly these planes as part of the Chili Express and do these flyovers at a number of events in the Albuquerque area, New Mexico. We appreciate the Chili Flight Express guys for giving us our dual flyover this morning to get us started at the 50th Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. And that said, we are now airborne. First with Dawn Patrol, then our balloons of the day. And there goes Gary Moore.
There goes Gary, yep.
In his, what did I say? Dark Side.
Dark Side.
Dark
Yeah,
Side
I called
2020.
it Timepiece. I think that was an earlier name.
That was an earlier name.
There goes Beautiful World. And is Sam flying that today or not?
Should be Mark Sullivan flying it today.
this morning, yeah.
Sam's got a few other responsibilities to take care of since he's the director of operations of Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta.
And that's another thing that's changed this year. Usually our officials, folks like Sam and the balloon meisters and the safety officials and all of those chief flying officers are usually on their little tower just right off
front of us,
the corner in front of our rooftop studio. And instead this year they've been moved way down the other side of
I can just see the corner of the tower from my view. You probably can't see it.
I can't see it.
You'd have to lean in a lot farther.
Yeah, well, I'd fall over if I leaned in further.
Yeah.
But our interview set just to my left here, I can't see them, but they're way down there. So normally we have this friendly chit-chat going back and forth between them when we can see them and smile and wave and talk to each other, but we can't do that this year.
So our Krispy Kreme balloons, those that were representing the original 13, are now getting airborne.
Yep.
We already talked about Gary. There goes Bill Lee in New Mexico True. I saw the Krispy Kreme balloon up.
The Roadrunner Coyote is up.
Flying Circus is up. And we already mentioned Beautiful World. There goes Orange Crush.
Yep. ExxonMobil, their balloon is standing up
so they
here
have
in
two
front
balloons.
Of us.
Yeah, so they have two
I'm
balloons, of course, this year as the presenting sponsor. So Tristan McLean flew the balloon off with the New Mexico state flag.
Okay.
And this would be Matt McClinton flying the second one.
Ah, okay. So Matt's here flying that for them.
Yep. Well, good. The Roadrunner's going to come right over the stage.
Oh, you know, I should.
Camera time.
Yep, camera time.
Spectator time. Cameras at the ready. Yeah, you know, we gotta play with the.
You know,
Got to be spectator as well as announcer here.
It would be nice if I had put the battery in my camera. I got to dig out my backpack.
Oh no!
Well, I can use my phone, but my big camera needs a battery, and I put it on charge last night so that I would have plenty of power this morning. And I went to take a picture and thought, why is the screen black? Well, it's because there's no battery in the camera. Hey, I think Ruth has one of our roving reporter, Ruth Lind, is with us again this year, and I think she's got a live interview with, what was it, the 1970?
One of the early, I don't remember exactly, we'll find out, but he has his 1972 jacket. He was a
72
balloon
jacket.
meister 1 year. Let's just let Ruth tell us.
Tell us, Ruth. Take it away.
He does. Hi, you guys. I'm here with Mark Wilson. He was the 1979 Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta Balloon Meister. What's it like to be back after all this time?
Oh, this is amazing. It just what I was talking earlier about the when I was a balloon meister, it was like 300 balloons, and I thought, you know, we're not ever going to be able to do more than that. And watching this thing grow and watching the community, and that's what makes this work. It's just so cool to be here and see it from this perspective.
Now, remind me where it was in 1979. Where in Albuquerque?
It was at what they called Sibbs Field, which is almost in the middle of the town now. And so the first one, of course, was at the fairgrounds. And so Sibbs Field's that way, but much smaller than what this field is.
And it was dirt then?
It was it was dirt, and it was dirt and mesa. And this is luxury stuff.
And how many times have you been back to Balloon Fiesta since '79?
Well, I'll sneak in at night and watch the glow and buy a $25 corn dog, and so I come once a year, and I still live in Albuquerque, but I don't. You have to get up way too early.
Yeah, we all do that.
Yeah.
All of us balloonists, we're used to that. Now, guys, I'm going to have Mark turn around because Mark has on his original 1972 Balloon Fiesta jacket. So can you turn and show our camera? That is so much fun.
That was over at
Mark,
that was at the fairgrounds, 13 balloons, and I thought, man, you know, we'll never see that many balloons again.
Never see that many balloons again, and here we are. Well, Mark, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and I hope you enjoy Fiesta this year.
This is great. I'm having a great time.
Great. Ken, Glenn, back to you.
Okay, Ruth, thanks. Good to see Mark. He actually showed up at a local balloon club meeting a month or so ago, and it was great to actually meet him. I'd seen pictures and heard about him and all those types of things. You know, just to kind of clarify things here a little bit, because I see there's some misconfusion on our chat deals here as well. What is considered the first balloon fiesta is that gathering for KOB of 13 balloons at Coronado Center on April 8th, 1972.
Right.
It was after that event, or even I think started during that event, that Sid and Tom Rutherford, who was the KOB representative here, were both approached to put on the first World Hot Air Balloon Championships. And so they did put that together, and the first World Hot Air Balloon Championships were held at the State Fairgrounds in 1973, February of 1973.
Right.
So that's where I think this first confusion comes in.
Yeah, which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah, the first gathering or the first Worlds. Well, the first gathering, and then we held the first World Championships.
But the Coronado Center gathering is the first fiesta.
That's what we consider to be the first fiesta, exactly. And then, of course, like I said, we had the first Worlds, then we had a rally in '74, then we held the second World Championship hot air balloon race in 1975. And that was the first year we moved to Sims Field that Mark was just talking about.
Yeah. And it was during that first World Championship that Sid came up with the idea of having the launch directors in the black and white zebras or referee suits. And that's how that became a tradition here at Balloon Fiesta Park.
That is it. And while we were at the fairgrounds in '73 and '74, most of the spectators were up in the grandstands, in the bleachers there. But of course, in Coronado, no restrictions for being able to get near the balloons. And that has carried on through today, because this is one of the few places you can actually be on the field, on the flight line, if you will.
Yeah.
With balloons taking off.
I posted a picture of Fiesta on my Facebook page just a few days ago that had, actually I didn't post it, Benny Boss, one of our official photographers. Benny, hi, wherever you are out there this year, posted it, and it was a few of the balloons with, you know, massive crowd all around it. And I shared that onto my Facebook page, and someone commented and said, are you kidding? Are people really allowed to get that close to the balloons?
Yeah.
Because at a lot of balloon festivals, you're stuck behind a rope or a fence or a crowd line, and I said, yeah, it's, you know, that's an actual shot that, you know, at Albuquerque, people are right out there with the balloons.
So we just saw the Zia balloon go right over the top. Tom McConnell flying that. Dr. Tom.
Dr. Tom
is on the board of directors. That's son flying that one.
Right. That's a multi-generational ballooning family. Dr. Tom has written a number of articles for me at Ballooning Journal, the magazine, and been a great friend for years. His whole family very much into the sport of ballooning.
And we are seeing the Rainbow Riders, our ride balloons, get airborne. Just a moment ago, there was a shot of the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center balloon. And there, of course, you see the Rainbow Riders balloons. 38 different ride balloons here, much bigger balloons carrying many more people airborne on their bucket list.
Yeah, you can take a look and compare. You see those Rainbow Rider balloons, and the baskets are quite large. And you can try to count the number of little heads that you can see poking up over the side. Many more in those balloons. They carry a lot of times 12, 14, 16, 18 passengers. The very large balloons, as opposed to the typical sport balloons you'll see flying here that are 77, 90,000 cubic feet, 105,000 cubic feet, carry a pilot and 2, 3, sometimes 4 passengers.
I just saw the Netflix balloon go by, John Bolger flying Dakota Star. I'm looking up, I just mentioned about the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center. He's already starting to turn. So those winds up higher that were turning to the north, that has dropped. So you don't have to go nearly as high to turn around and go back to the north. And there is a brand new Kubitschek built balloon for the United States Air Force.
I was going to say, off we go into
the wild blue yonder. Rusty Manning flying the Air Force balloon for us. The Air Force, of course, celebrating 75 years. Glad to have the Air Force here. Kind of a late decision to actually build that balloon. Kubitschek factory stepped up, made it happen. So we are happy to have them here. Here's a shot from our balloon cam looking down at the river. And some of the other balloons. There's a Krispy Kreme balloon down below. There's the flag still hanging, looking straight down. So that's what it feels like to be up in a balloon looking over the side of the basket.
This balloon directly in front of us, red with the yellow and blue spiral, the registration number G Daddy, is formerly the balloon of Sam Edwards. Sam, longtime veteran balloonist, past president, or certainly a member of the board of directors of the Balloon Federation of America. And Sam sadly passed away just a few months ago. Actually, not even that long ago, maybe.
Tomas Horace is
couple of months ago, and Tomas Hora is flying the balloon. But that the Texas Twist, I think, was the name of it. G Daddy, the registration for Sam being a grandfather, and his daughter Sherry Edwards White is here flying her balloon. She'll be launching in a few moments. But
Sherry still calls it Twisted.
Yeah, but yeah, great friend Sam and his dear wife Jean. wonderful friends of mine for years and years and years out of Houston, Texas.
Here's another brand new balloon. I hopefully can pick it up here. The Visit Albuquerque balloon. The stage camera can get it. The rooftop camera can get it. Notice we're looking at it, and it's green.
I was going to say, when it turns, is there a red chili on the other side?
Here it comes around the other side.
I saw that coming.
So the name of the balloon, Red or Green.
Red or
Visit
Green,
Albuquerque. And when we first saw a picture of that, it was the green side. Then they posted the red side. Oh, perfect. Now you can see the green and the
right
red
smack down the middle
on either side there.
The color pattern changes completely. It's red, it's red and
like
yellow on one side.
Looks like a totally different balloon.
Yeah, and it's green, shades of greens on the other side. That's awesome. That's a brilliant pattern. Like that.
Rainbow Riders operating that for the Visit Albuquerque group.
There goes one of the Rainbow Rider balloons with the KOB New Mexico, Channel 4 banner on the side, TV.
The TV station and the radio station were basically the same organization, the same entry back in 1972.
Yeah.
The radio, they've since broken off and they're now owned by different companies. So the TV station is still KOB, the radio station is KKOB.
Right. Well, and that's not that unusual. Some years ago, I worked at WOAI Radio in San Antonio, Texas, and back in the day, there was a WOAI Radio and a WOAI TV, and they were owned by the same conglomerate, but eventually they split, and now the TV station is KMOL, I think. It's been a while since I was there. But a lot of times, early in broadcasting, broadcast owners would buy into both radio and television licenses, and then eventually they often split. And when they did, usually you would end up with different call signs.
Yeah, that was one of those. Radio obviously out there, and as TV came into being, radio stations just added the video signal, and that's why they were together.
Right.
I'm looking up high. In fact, there's beautiful
world way up high there. Yeah.
And the sun is hitting the balloons that are up probably close to 1,000 feet.
Yep.
And we're starting to see the colors really start to pop.
There's the Montgolfier replica that's up there as well.
One of the representing of the original 13.
You can see the sun bouncing off of that, and the sky continuing to get lighter and lighter to the east as the sun is coming up, but has not yet crested above the 10,000-foot tall Sandia Mountains.
I can see it out on the West Mesa starting to head our way. We saw Cynthia Seal standing up a few moments ago, now airborne with Pat Rolfe at the controls.
Just right over the top of us. Yeah, yesterday afternoon as I left the museum after the Hall of Fame ceremony, the Sandias took on that momentary pink glow from which they get their name, of course. Watermelon. And and it was one of those moments when I went, just had I'm back in Albuquerque.
Oh, yeah.
There's the Mission Linen Supply balloon over to the far left, the far west of the field, yellow with a kind of a blue and red starburst on the side of it. Mission Linen has been here, gosh, at least since I started here in 1990. They are a long time sponsor and participant here at Balloon Fiesta. Always good to have them back with us.
Jerry Graff, and the name of the balloon is actually Lofty.
Lofty.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's Annie, the little ladybug.
Yeah, we'll see some of those special shapes during the course of the week. We always saw Cynthia Seal. I see Humpty Dumpty inflating out there as well. You mentioned Annie, so we'll see a number of special shapes during the course of the week, but of course Thursday and Friday coming up several days from now is when we really salute the special shapes with our rodeos and our glodios.
Of course, they've changed the name of Annie. It's now She's a Lady.
Well, okay.
These guys like to do that to us announcers.
Yeah.
We learn the names and who's flying it and all that stuff, and then they go and change the name.
Well, and then you have the Hartzels who build 4 balloons that all look exactly alike, and they won't do anything.
Did you see that they have new ones?
I did, and did you know they look exactly alike again?
They do. I'm not sure the new ones are going to be here, though.
I don't know.
We'll have to wait and see.
Because they were over at the Worlds, which just wrapped up over in Slovenia. Is that where the Worlds were held, I think? Yeah. But yeah, for years I griped at Joe Hartzell about, come on, put a different colored scoop or skirt or something on each one so I could tell them apart. But nope, he and Rhett and Lucas all fly identical balloons. Then they built new balloons, and they're identical too.
Yep. So because of the number of balloons that we have here, we launch in waves. However, the field is big enough that we can start at the south end and at the middle. And we start launching balloons from both ends and from the middle, and we'll work our way through the field. And then, again, it's so big we have to do it a whole second time to get everyone up in the air. So we've got a little while to go to get everybody up. We're still launching ride balloons, so we're only a couple, 3 rows into the middle of the field, and it looks like we're about to start on row B down here at this end.
Yep.
So,
and the field is gridded. It's A, B, C, D. We use the letters of the alphabet starting from the south end here, working our way north, and then from east to west, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So your launch site might be A7. And that would be first row, 7th position over from the east. There's Itsy Bitsy Spider, seeing it for the first time this year.
yep.
There goes
When
she's
we're
a lady.
Yeah, when they're close down here, you can really hear up here on the roof. We can hear the cheers, which basically is, hey, someone's just launched. So, yep, there she goes. She's a lady in flight.
Somebody on Facebook, let me see if I can.
Hi, Canada. Glad you're watching. Someone pointed out that the carousel is over there. Yes, it is. Frank Campanella.
Just behind that is, I'm pretty sure that's going to be Billy Broker in the city of Plano Balloon. Plano, where you were just a week ago,
Yep.
has an outstanding hot air balloon festival.
Look at the shot from the sky of all the balloons,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, look at that.
because they're all headed out to the northwest. Kind of go south over the field, and depending how fast they climb, they will turn around at a few hundred feet up, maybe about 500 feet or so.
I've never seen this before. I'm looking at the Facebook feed, and there's like, what do they call that when you can see what's being said? It's in closed captioning.
Oh, uh-huh.
And it's closed captioning of what we're saying.
Both Facebook and YouTube have been working to turn that on. So, yes, it's live closed captioning happening on those. Good morning, Sam.
Morning, Sam. Look who's just joined us up here on the tower.
Our
the
director of
rooftop.
operations. We talked about the river.
There
There's
it
Gary
is.
Moore,
Yeah.
Dark Side 2020, going down to try and do a little splash and dash. The idea behind a splash and dash is to just get the bottom of the basket, the skids underneath. You get those wet. You don't go in deep enough to get your feet wet.
That's
now,
right.
the really good news about the Rio Grande, you could go all the way and touch bottom and probably not get your feet wet.
I'm not sure that's good news, but
you
I
can't
understand.
mess it up. You can't bury your basket in water up to your ankle,
I
up to your
understand.
knees.
I understand
or
what you're
something.
saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, because there have been years when people have done a sink and dunk in in the Rio Grande, where suddenly you're basket deep.
Or definitely stick it in the mud there. Yep.
Yeah. There goes the Cottonwood Mall balloon, and the black, red, golden, yellow, and white band in the center.
It's going to be Ken Tatalini.
I thought I recognized that balloon.
Yep. There's Phillips 66 and Dos Equis. A couple more of our big sponsors here. Right in front of us, Dave Melton in his purple with the rainbow equator colors going around it.
Now, we can have that. Is that purple or is that eggplant or is
That's
it plum?
purple. That's purple.
We've been having that discussion about our jackets this year. What color are they? Are they purple? Are they plum? Are they eggplant? It's a unique color because my fleece looks purple out here in the daylight, but indoors yesterday at the hotel, it looked blue. It looked navy blue. So who knows?
What a pretty day.
Oh, just, what a way to start off the 50th. Just an amazing Chamber of Commerce Day. There goes the City of Plano balloon and Billy.
Right
broker.
behind. Yep. Right behind it, the U.S. Bank
US
balloon
Bank.
with Scott McClinton.
Scott McClinton. Yep. The Colorado flag balloon is one of the Rainbow Rider contract balloons that come in from all around the country to give those precious balloon rides here at Balloon Fiesta.
One of two. So when you see another one later, don't think, what? Deja vu?
Came back.
Nope. There are two of them. Yep, we're still from the north end of the field. We're still launching ride balloons. This was Glenn just mentioned, the Colorado balloon. We saw the Jack balloon. Look at the sky already, and we're 4 rows into the launch.
Yeah.
And look at how crowded the sky is already. There goes Humpty Dumpty. That should be. Let me verify to make sure.
Well, I was going to say
Rich.
I was going to say Rich Lawhorn,
Yeah.
but nowadays so many balloons have gotten sold and passed on. I'm sometimes, because the pandemic. I know you did the same thing. It was, I went for 2 or 3 years without really announcing any balloon rallies, and kind of lost touch with some of the balloons that I've known so familiarly for years. And some have changed hands, and some have new balloons, and so, yeah, it's. I was going to say that was Rich Longhorn earlier, but
That's why I quickly looked in the spotter to verify that still was Rich.
Well, and you know me and your spotter.
Yeah.
I still haven't figured out.
Anti-spot,
No,
yeah.
I'm not anti. I never. It's like, see, I typed in where I thought when Air Force took out, I typed in Air Force, but I couldn't get it to search to bring up the information.
What did you do to it?
I didn't
There
do
it
anything
is.
to it.
Right there.
But how? What did you touch to make it search?
All you have to do is touch outside the box.
Well, see, that's the problem. I don't think outside the box.
Yeah, there you go. You don't have the touch.
I don't. As my dad, my late dad would say, it just wasn't holding the mouth right. There goes the Celtic knot.
Hey, there's another one. Here's another one of those. Here is the sloth. It's no longer called the sloth. It's now been named. It's Tico.
Huh?
Yeah, that's what I said. They said, "Oh, that balloon is Tico." I said, "No, it's the sloth."
No, it's the sloth.
Yeah. So, but they named it. Someone has bought it and they've named it, so it is now Tico.
Okay.
So I'm saying it's Tico, the sloth.
There you go. Like Santa the Claus.
There you go. That's it. That's it.
I caught just a quick glimpse while it was on camera. Right next to it was the Chick-fil-A balloon.
Right.
And there it is.
Yep.
And I was just going to mention, that's sort of become my favorite go-to restaurant. It's right on the way home to the hotel. And the last 2 nights I have dined on Chick-fil-A.
Craig Kennedy flying Chick-fil-A for us this year.
Oh,
They
wow.
now have a balloon that's basically stationed in New Mexico.
Okay.
We'll be flying around and doing promotional events for Chick-fil-A.
Well, I'm glad to know I'm supporting my old friend Craig.
There you go.
Craig, of course, was the director of our Dawn Patrol show for a number of years, and flew for Intel for a number of years. There goes the watermelon balloon. We talked about the Sandia Mountains, Sandia being the Native American word for watermelon, and it gets that name from that wonderful pinkish glow that it takes on. Excuse me, that the mountains take on just at sunset. Well, here goes a watermelon balloon. You can see the greens of the rind at the top and bottom, and then the meat of the watermelon, the pink and red inside with the always present watermelon seeds.
Bob O'Brien flies that, and he calls it seed quoll.
Seed quoll, okay. Well, we had a dear friend in northwest Louisiana that had a watermelon balloon similar to that. And years ago, when she first got it, we were all traveling to a balloon rally together, and we were on the radios talking between chase trucks and trying to come up with names for it. And I christened it Melonaire. And and we broadcast closed circuit to the Student Union building.
Yeah.
That was the only audience we had.
Yep.
Student Union. But that's when I got behind the microphone for the first time, and that was in the spring of 1972 at Lamar University. Shout out to my debate coach, Mary Alice Baker, if she's watching.
My first job in radio was also in college on a closed circuit. We went to more than the Student Union. We also went to the dorms.
Oh, well, see, you were ahead
much
of
bigger,
us. Yeah.
much smaller school.
Yeah. And Lamar now does have its own NPR radio station.
There was just a shot off. Back on the field from our balloon cam, seeing all the balloons inflated here as well as in the sky. So there's the KKOB balloon. So KKOB is at 770 on the AM dial.
Right.
So it's always been KKOB or KOB 770, 770 KOB, whatever variation they were using. They're still there, but they have, or I would call it simulcast. They probably don't call it that. At 96.3 on the FM
on
dial.
the FM side, okay.
So they're starting to promote the FM side of things here, but you
Okay.
can still get them on the AM at 770. But that would be Ron Curry. Ron is a very long-time pilot here as well. Has been flying the KOB balloon. This is probably the 4th iteration of a KKOB or a KOB balloon.
Yeah. And I didn't even catch that, the 96.3 versus 770.
Yep.
I should have. I've been
That's
here
okay.
enough years to know that. But, yeah, that's interesting. There goes Tico, the sloth, with his back turned to us.
Yeah, a little photo bombing by Craig and Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, moving. There's a great shot from
Yeah.
one of our cameras where you can see on the feed the face of Tico.
And the Chick-fil-A balloon spinning because of the turning vent that's in there. Yeah. Yep. Craig does a great.
They must be doing a rotisserie chicken.
Oh.
But oh well,
Yep.
first bad joke for the day.
There you go. Here's a new special shape for us, the new Tiger.
See, I bet I can find, because I can push the button that says shapes, and then all I have to do is scroll till I find a picture of the tiger, which you probably already have up over there.
Because I typed in Tiger.
Well, see, that's cheating.
I knew I'd get less balloons with Tiger. I'll let you find it.
Well, thank you. There's no that. I thought that was Tico, but it's not. There's something else. I'll have to go back and see that.
Seems like a lot more orange balloons again here. Yellow, still the most popular color in a
Predominant
balloon.
color, yeah. Orange was a color you used to almost never see in a balloon. Certainly not a primary color.
Right.
I don't know why that is, because I like orange. Okay, now you're going to tell me Tiger's not in here because I'm scrolling and scrolling and scrolling.
Oh, he's in there.
Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Keep those balloons rolling. What was that show? Oh, yeah, there he is. Okay. Cha-ching. Yeah, all right. So this is Tiger flown by Craig Farrell from Palmerston. What is ACT? Aruba.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. The only Aruba I know is the one that's in the Beach
Actually,
Boys song.
I think that's an autocorrect thing. I think Craig is actually from Australia.
Oh.
Because he was in Plano last week.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
So much for your spotting.
There you go. I
your
know.
Spotting.
There's a whole lot of manual adjustments, and I try and automate some things.
Yeah.
And, sometimes autocorrect doesn't always work, so auto adjust doesn't always pick up the right country. Hey, when pigs fly, there's Hamlet. Doug Gant flies Hamlet for us. Doug moved to Albuquerque a few years ago.
Yes, he did.
After
used to live in Florida, and probably glad now that he doesn't.
Other than he has family still there.
Yeah, our thoughts and prayers to all the folks in Florida that were so incredibly impacted by Hurricane Ian. I know one of our balloonists here, Sean Askren, lost an entire vacation home down there. Just wiped off. It was on one of those islands that's now completely underwater, just absolutely wiped out. Another balloonist, though, Terry Dillard, is on his way here. He and his wife Debbie had gotten as far as Memphis and then decided to turn around and go back when the storm changed track, because they manage a marina that is largely a community of senior and retired citizens. They felt like they needed to be there for those people to help them, And fortunately, they suffered very minor damage, so now they've loaded the balloon trailer back up and are on their way here. Probably be here tomorrow, I would think. There goes Dale Wong in Rancho Cucamonga, from Rancho Cucamonga, actually.
When we were talking about the Tiger earlier, somebody on the feed said, "Is that Air Bell behind the Tiger?" Sure enough, there it is.
Yep.
There it is.
Well spotted.
You bet. Huge cheers going up for Hamlet getting in the air. That balloon always a big favorite.
It is. You know, and
as well as Arabelle.
And when pigs fly, which is a saying that you'll see on the side of the balloon, the story behind that is Doug built that balloon years ago in part as tribute to his dad, because when he was a kid, and you know how kids are, it's why?
I was just loving that shot from our balloon cam, which is in the Fiesta balloon. We saw the Fiesta Gold balloon, the Krispy Kreme balloon, and the Roadrunner Coyote balloon. All in the shot. There they are. So the Krispy Kreme on the left.
Yeah.
And the Roadrunner is the white. And then down at the bottom is Fiesta Gold. As they get out over the Rio Rancho area and the river out there as well.
Speaking of Fiesta Gold, look around.
So.
No, I do not. Oh, thank you.
There you go, sir.
Look at that.
I did, thank you.
I was going to say, speaking of Fiesta Gold, look over your shoulder. There is Jewel Cutter.
Yes, good morning,
and
Jewel.
Jewel has just given us beautiful world balloon pins. Thank you, Jewel. Wow, that's one that's special.
Yep. With a message from Jewel on the card.
Oh, yeah. Have to read that, too.
Yep.
I'd say
Jewel
we've got
carrying on the legacy of Sid and just bringing everyone together.
Speaking of bringing people together, I would say she's done that. Take a look at the crowd out there today.
Yep.
I don't know that I've ever. It goes all the way to the western Arroyo. I don't know I've ever seen the crowd go all the way across. All the way across the field.
We spend so much time telling people to move to the west so that you can move away from some of the crowds to get over here. But you're right, it goes all the way across this morning.
It literally is, 4, 5, 6 people deep all the way across the field. I don't think I've ever seen that in 33 years here.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for watching us on Balloon Fiesta Live.
Yeah,
we are excited to bring this to you.
We've not engaged nearly as much with the feeds as we have in the past. Keith Berry, hi, Keith. Nice to see you. Because there's just so much happening on the field this morning that's
hard to keep
our attention. Yeah. The first morning is always crazy anyway. There's so much going on and kind of getting back into the flow of doing things.
So coming right over the center of the field, we don't have it on the camera at the moment, is the SS America balloon being flown by Jerry Hooper. And every time I see that balloon, I'm reminded of Betsy Ross, which was the first balloon that Sid Cutter brought. It's not quite the same, but it had very similar. Jerry's got the gold bunting up at the top. Betsy Ross's bunting was a little bit lower. I don't believe Betsy had the pennants. But every time I see that, I'm reminded of the original balloon that came to New Mexico back in 1971 that got everything got Sid interested in ballooning and doing things with ballooning. There it is. Which, of course, as he was flying it around in 71, led to the conversations for the Coronado Center in 72.
A moment ago on the feed, we had a picture of, what is it, Pencil Boy?
Yes.
Yeah. Looks like
I didn't see him.
Yeah, he was just on the screen for a moment.
It must be on the far north end.
Yeah, it was still a cold inflating, still lying on his side, cold inflating. But I had a quick shot of it that I could recognize. That's another one of those very nuanced designs, because once it stands up, you'll see the Pencil Boy's wearing sunglasses. And they're mirrored glasses. And the mirrored glasses are a reflection of a Fiesta Mass Ascension.
I just heard our camera person in our balloon cam.
Yeah.
Is actually taking pictures of his house as he flies over it now.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah.
So now, what's the story? See this beautiful teal balloon? Kind of a teal blue with the white. I was going to say storks. I don't think those are not storks, I don't think. What are those? They're birds of some sort.
I should remember that, but...
well, since you put everything into the spotter.
So he was here last year.
Was he? I don't remember that.
but I'm not remembering. As soon as I find it, I'll.
Okay.
Unfortunately, blue and white are also very popular colors.
Very popular. Yeah. If you just search. Okay. Now, how come when I put in fractal, it draws up this balloon? That's not a fractal balloon.
Probably picked up a pilot name or something.
Okay.
Because you can search by lots of things.
Well, I'm not having much luck searching by anything. Speaking of the Hartzels, as we were, and they're identical balloons, there are two of them, even spinning in the same direction.
One's moving a little faster.
One's moving, and one actually has silver outlines around the stars. Joe Hartzell and his sons, Rhett and Lucas. It may be that Lucas is not here with us. I'm betting that's probably Joe and Rhett this morning. Back from Slovenia in the World Championships. I think it's his 4th U.S. National Championship this year. Father Joe has won 5, and they fly balloons that look exactly alike.
I wonder if they ever switch. You know, get into each other's.
Yeah, I think they do, and I think they do it just to aggravate me sometimes when I'm announcing rallies.
There's the Tiger balloon, kind of behind one of the Hartzell
behind
balloons
one of the
that
Hartzell
you're talking
balloons.
about. Yeah. Hey, at least they're starting to go different directions now.
Yeah, that's true. At least there's that.
I'm thinking the one with the silver would be Joe.
I think that's Joe, and you can also tell because Joe is a little bit shorter than Rhett.
And usually, usually wears a ball cap.
Usually wears a ball cap, exactly. And so, yeah, looking at just the
tall,
pilot
tall
profiles,
pilot in this one.
the tall pilot in this one, I'm thinking this is Rhett, who's about to pass directly overhead of us.
We're giving away announcer secrets here.
I
know.
know.
You know that?
Yeah, I realize that.
Yeah. That's okay. We need some folks to start thinking about taking on this announcing job.
I was going to say, you know,
we can't do it forever as much as we'd love
there's
to.
not that many of us in this profession. And, you know, last year, I guess it's okay to say, I actually had a conversation with you and Sam Parks about potentially making, you know, this might be my retirement song. It's not, so don't, everybody. When I said that went apoplectic, and so I'm not retiring yet. Not yet, but you know, it may not be far away. You never can tell.
Although last month was update your resume month, so
was it? I missed that. But you know, yeah, I mean, honestly, there aren't very many people around the world who do this professionally. And
which is why it's easy to be at the top of the game.
That's right. Yeah. There's something called job security to be had there. There is the Phillips 66 balloon standing over close to the main stage area, and I think inflating just beside it is Smokey Bear.
Yep.
And that's my usual point to say it is not Smokey the Bear, just like it's not Santa the Claus.
But it is Tico the Sloth.
It is Tico the Sloth, but it is Smokey Bear and Santa Claus.
There's Arabelle, too.
There's no the. And you can say Arabelle the cow if you want.
Sure.
If you want.
Sure.
Or
although they prefer Arabelle the Creamland cow.
Creamland cow, of course.
Hey, there's Master Yoda getting airborne. There's still one of our original Krispy Kreme that was Jay Mason still flying. Our balloon camera is still flying over there. Yeah, Phillips 66, you see. Brad Rice flying that. Beth Wright Smith standing up, Smokey Bear behind it. Right in front there, the snowman. That's going to be Seasons.
That's the Seasons balloon. And just launching, talking about orange balloons earlier, the orange balloon with those multicolored swashes, I believe that will be Pat Fogue flying that balloon for, what is it, IMTS?
Yes. Unless you're me, I like to call it the LMTS.
No, it's
IMTS, I know.
Yeah, isn't it the International
Manufacturing
technology show, trade show,
something like that.
I should know. I forget.
Yeah. I'm glad you don't remember.
No, I don't. Gary Haven getting airborne in his balloon, Almost Haven, or Almost Heaven, depending on how you want to pronounce it.
Well, look at that shot of the Roadrunner balloon.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
From our balloon camera, so they're right over there by them. You know, when we were doing test flights of that balloon, it was like we could not get a picture of the Roadrunner side. The coyote was the photo hog of that balloon. Yesterday, we could not get a picture of the coyote side. It was the Roadrunner stepping forward. Kind of amazing how that happens. They did not put turning vents in that balloon because the original didn't have them.
Okay.
So they tried to do that. So it's kind of like they can't.
Not on demand anyway.
Right.
Somebody was asking on the Facebook feed, any idea how many people are there? Lots and lots and lots. No, I have no clue how many people are there, but this is one of the largest crowds I've seen in the past many years here, without question.
And large crowd days in the past have been on the 80,000, 88,000 range per day.
So
this is definitely,
I wouldn't be surprised that we're knocking 100,000 on the door somewhere.
Someone caught me on a TV interview the other day and asked how many people we expected this year. And before I even thought about it, the number 1 million came out of my mouth. And I went, ooh, where do I get off making up numbers like that? But we typically get...
Over the 9 days, we've had 1.2 million in the past.
We have, and recently we've been in the 880,000, 900,000 range. So just looking at today's crowd, if this carries through...
And because of the significance of the 50th, you would expect there will be more here this year. So I certainly would say that 1 million is in the ballpark.
I would think so.
Yeah, for the 9-day attendance. Speaking of balloons, as we were earlier talking about the radio control balloons, the RC balloons, there is your Fiesta defending champion, Zarek Wells, in the balloon Guilty, the yellow balloon with the beautiful handlebar mustache right on the side. He's out over the western edge of the balloon field.
And he will be carrying banner number 1 as the defending champion.
And he is, and the defending champions also have special basket banners. In addition to the original 13,
all of the previous
champions have a unique basket banner. Zarek also just back from Slovenia, where he was part of Team USA in the World Championships. Rhett Hartzell, by the way, we were talking about earlier, was the only American to make it into the top 10. But we had, I think it was 5 in the top 25 pilots. I think that's correct. I should look at my notes from the BFA meeting on Thursday.
Look at this sky.
Just what a rainbow that is, leading out.
Wow.
Over to the west. Just what an amazing, amazing day.
It's only been 350 some days since we've seen this, but boy, I have missed it.
And you never tire of seeing it.
No, not at all.
There goes the Union Jack. GUKUK.
I see Ralph Kaiser's EOS balloon, the big white verticals separated by the reds and the pinks. Basil Booth behind him. There's a new special shape for us. Let me double check.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That is Mandrill. Worley Macedo from...
looks a little bit almost like a character from Lion King. Just a bit.
And there's one of the Fox balloons behind it, and then off the right, that's the Big Hug.
The Big Hug with the bear and the...
there goes Mandrill in the air.
There goes Mandrill. The bear and the elephant hugging each other. There goes Seasons over toward the center of the stage. There comes Mandrill now. If you're here looking out at the field, look straight down the field from the south to the north. There's a good look at Mandrill. Smokey Bear is up right now. You said Beth Wright Smith flying that balloon this year?
Yes.
Seasons in the air. We can see the purple balloon with the snowman, but if you look around the balloon, you'll see the pumpkin. There's the sun and
snowman.
What's the fourth one? There's all four. It represents all 4 seasons. There's the sun. There's the snowman. That's summer, winter. The pumpkin is fall. So what is spring? Is it the daisy? Is that what it was?
Yes. Yeah. It's a daisy.
Yeah,
That's right. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I do remember that. still love the shot from the air of all the balloons.
Mandrill
up there.
That's a pretty awesome looking balloon.
Isn't it?
Since I have my highfalutin camera here with me, I might.
And it's got a battery in it now?
It has a battery in it now. Yep. I might, although just as I do that, he's now turning toward the...
Do you realize we're still in the first wave?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, there's a good shot of Smokey. And that looks like should make. Oh, yeah, it's gonna be. Well, maybe not. Let me check. See if she's in. Yeah, right next to Smokey, the blue at the top and the bottom with the yellow in the middle and the red. That is Vacation. Janet Safara wanted me to start playing the some vacation song that I've never heard of, but I guess it's a popular song. She wanted me to play that every time she launches, and I had to decline.
There is Belzebeth. That is Sydney Severin out of from Villers-le-Ville, Belarus. That is kind of the black, devilish looking thing there. The black horns, the white eyes. Belzebeth is the name of that balloon.
There you can see why we like to fly out to the west. The houses get a little more sparse out there.
Few and far between.
Yeah.
Lots of wide open landing sites. There is, now I don't know if that's Mike Bowens or Betty who's flying the balloon. The one with the musical staff around it and the piano keyboard around the bottom of the balloon. See that one? And we discovered last year the music around the balloon. You know what song that is? Do you remember?
Was it Yesterday?
Yesterday by Paul McCartney and the Beatles.
There it is, coming right into view on the right side of our screen.
Yeah, there he goes. That orange and blue spiral balloon on the screen right now and just in front of us is the first spiral patterned balloon ever built by Aerostar Balloons, as a matter of fact. That was Twisted Gator. There's the Arkansas balloon, a natural state of Arkansas. Some years ago, I did an article for Balloon Life magazine that we titled Ships of State. And it was all about the many balloons many state balloons that are out there. There's not that many left anymore, but Arkansas still has one.
Another new special shape just on the screen there, the new alien balloon.
Yep, this is, I forget his full title, it's something about benevolent leader. And coming all the way from the UK.
Lee Hooper.
Yep.
And he tells us, for here, we're just calling it Alien.
Yeah, well, they named it Alien, but whenever he's on their social media pages, they have this whole long, His Holiness Benevolent Leader, God of all creation, yada, 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 sort of stuff. We just call him the Alien.
Beth has got Smokey in the air.
And there goes Big Hug as well. The Alien is a lot of fun. You know how around Yoda and Darth Vader, when they're here, they have the stormtroopers all in their costumes?
Yes.
Well, the Alien, Lee Hooper, has a whole crowd. Good morning, Lee. He has a whole crowd of people that they're like inflatable suits that they get into, and they run. And there's a whole little army of little aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
They're having a lot of fun with that balloon.
That's great. So we also have a spaceship balloon here this year.
Is that the flying saucer that I saw in Plano?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's got the little aliens in the
windows,
kind of the cockpit, if you will. Yeah, we're expecting to see that one this week as well. Maybe just for the shape days. I have to go check for sure.
So now
that's the flying bus.
Oh yeah,
the
VW bus.
Almost looks like a VW on. I don't think it is, but that's the flying bus we're seeing in the center.
Probably
there.
what it's meant to be, or
yeah,
an homage to a Volkswagen bus. I see Pencil Boy sticking up above the crowd.
Launching above the crowd.
I guess that's why he's sticking up above the crowd, is because he's launching.
He's launching. Rising above.
Imagine that.
Oh, this, yeah. Just never get tired of this. Can't say that enough, I guess. The shots from the balloon cam with the sun over the Sandias. We see the ground. We see the balloons. Everybody headed out that way.
Yeah, it's just a. Hi, Jackie.
The balloon on the right, the racer shape there, the blue and white check with the words freedom. That's a new balloon here in Albuquerque.
Well, I saw it flying. Let's see, I got into town on Wednesday, so it was Thursday morning. I was going to meet some friends at the Flying Star for breakfast, and it was up flying, and it made me think, again, okay, those of you playing Glenmore your bingo, get ready. Made me think of Scotland, because obviously the famous line by, senior moment.
I can't help you with that one.
I know.
While you're thinking of it, it's Colin McClung.
That's embarrassing.
A pretty new pilot, and it's his first time here at Balloon Fiesta. There's the top of Bill Walker's balloon, the smiley face in the yellow. Built into that parachute top that we mentioned probably close to an hour ago when we were showing some of those to you. More and more balloons are starting to do something in that top, whether it's smiley faces or we saw Zias like in the Zia balloon, the Sid Cutter silhouette, and the Fiesta 50 balloon. And I have to tell you, when you put something like a smiley face there that way, that it really helps when you're out on the crown line to see if the balloon is rotated correctly or not.
That's true, yeah.
And so one of the balloons that I fly has a smiley face in it, and the other one, the colors match perfectly going around.
Yeah.
So it's really nice on the smiley face ones to know whether we're rotated around in the cold inflation.
Yeah, especially on one like this where the whole top is yellow. It's hard to tell.
You wouldn't be able to tell
if
without
it was, if every panel was like red, white, blue, red, white, blue, red, white. But when they're all the same color, it does make it more difficult. There on the feed is Cymbaloo. That is, and right next to it is probably, I think that's the koala bear. That's part of Andrew Holly and the Longleat fleet that are here from the UK, from Sky Safari. There is our spaceship
that we were just talking about. Yeah,
flying saucer. The new Dos Equis balloon. Not always the most interesting balloon, but when it flies, it is. And that is Sean Askren flying Dos Equis.
I thought Scott was flying it.
No, I was told Sean was flying it because for Scotty, but
okay.
Well, and the only reason I know that was because Sean had a vacation home in Florida that was wiped out by the hurricane, and he wanted to go and check on his property, and I was told he couldn't get away from Balloon Fiesta because he was contracted to fly the new Dos Equis balloon. Now, that's the information I had third hand. If that's incorrect, I apologize, but that's what I was told.
Scotty has all these pilots working for him,
exactly,
and he can interchange them.
Right.
So originally, Scott Appleman was supposed to fly Dos Equis, and Sean was going to fly a Rainbow Riders balloon.
Oh, okay.
So somebody's flying it for Scott.
Well, yeah, one way or the other. As I say, the story I was told was that at any rate, Sean could not get away to go to Florida because Scott couldn't find another pilot to put in whichever balloon it was that he was flying.
Yep. Our gnome is out there as well.
A gnome. That too is, well, that used to be one of Andrew Holly's balloons. I think it was sold.
And there's Little Dog popping up on the right-hand side of the screen.
Sorry about that squeaky noise. I keep trying to sip my hot chocolate with my microphone in place, and the cup squeaks against the foam on the windscreen on the mic. Apologies.
Little Dog being flown by Vladimir Traveria.
Well, and where did I saw Dean Carlton got up in the air. And
He's already gone over us.
Gosh, that was fast.
Yep, he already got past us. I saw him just a moment ago. As you were squeaking, the dog Wags was flying by.
Yeah, Wags, the puppy dog balloon.
Like Cymbaloo just taking off over the top of the spaceship out there. So we're starting to get
There's Adelaide the koala.
The second wave inflated here. It'll be a little bit smaller than the first wave, but
it's been slow this morning too, hasn't it? Doesn't it? I mean, it's been very relaxed would be a better
relaxed.
Good.
Yeah,
yeah, better choice of words.
We're an hour into the launch.
Is that all?
Yep. So an hour through the first wave. Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's about average then.
We're right on time.
Okay. Just seems like.
There's a nice shot of the top. You can actually see the aliens looking through the windows in that spaceship.
Oh, yeah. Little green men from Mars.
Or somewhere out there.
Or, yeah.
The back end of Little Dog.
The bum, as they would say. Same for Cymbaloo, turned around backwards so we can read Longleat Sky Safari, which was the event where I was just at just barely 2 weeks ago now.
I'm looking up way high, and we talked about low, you go south, you go up a few hundred feet, and you are able to turn around and go to the northwest. But if you go even higher than that, maybe 1,500, 2,000 feet, you actually come back east. So you could conceivably get all the way back here to the field. Now, they can't land back here until everybody's launched.
Not now, but later in the morning, maybe.
Yeah, after we get everybody launched, there would be the possibility of landing back here. I think everyone, the majority of them, I only see a handful that have gone up high enough to come back east and maybe come back this way.
Yeah, I think most of them are heading out to the...
And look how slow it is up there.
Yeah, the target rich. Well, I saw one of the earlier reports this morning where up at altitude it was like 1.5 miles per hour. It's just like,
really whipping along.
Yeah, I could get out and push and move faster than this.
Yeah. Oh, what a great morning.
Yeah, just awesome.
I spot the Wonder Balloon.
Spot the Wonder.
There it is.
Oh, yeah, there he is. I can see it, not even looking at the monitor. I can just see it looking down at the field.
Yeah.
There goes Gnome.
Yep.
G'day, Gnome. I always thought that looked like a big ice cream cone with strawberry ice cream myself until somebody said, oh, no, it's a gnome.
Well, especially from this side where you don't see any of the face.
I mean, it looks like a very messy Dairy Queen ice cream cone. Because they always had that little twirl on top.
They do.
I once worked at a Dairy Queen. It's the only reason I know about that.
But see, there you can see the front, so you can actually see the face. So it doesn't look so much like an ice cream cone.
But then he looks like a Santa Claus in ice cream, you know? Yeah. It's like a strawberry Santa Claus. I never understood it as a gnome. You know, it needs more colors than just pink.
Or maybe the bottom shouldn't be cone colored.
Shouldn't be cone colored. Yeah, there's always that option too.
Yeah, as we get started on the second wave. So we'll go through the field again. A few less balloons in the second wave here.
You can tell there's less balloons because either that or it's getting a little windier down on the ground because I can feel a little more breeze up here now than we could earlier this morning.
There's the top of Koshari, the black and white one there.
Yep.
The balloon from Gallup, Peter Procopio.
The Freedom Balloon?
Yes.
William Wallace, the character that was played by, who's his face in Braveheart.
Okay.
But a very famous Scottish warrior, Scottish king. But in the end of the movie, the shout was always freedom.
Okay.
You know, and so that's what made me think about that.
Henry Rosenbaum is
the
back.
minibus.
Yeah, Henry Rosenbaum is back as our balloon meister this year. Good morning, Henry.
Good morning, Art. Good morning, Glenn.
Good morning, Henry.
Good morning to everybody that's out there watching.
Yeah.
Lots of people out there, lots of people on the field this morning.
There are a ton of people out here, and we are so excited. I've said it before, this is a Chamber Commerce Day.
It is.
I mean,
it
it's just
absolutely
beautiful.
is.
We couldn't have asked for any better weather.
No.
Yeah, and this perfect opportunity here for the balloons just to go south, go up, and they're all just hanging out there very slow out to the northwest. We're actually seeing some folks high coming back to the east.
Yep. Yeah, we've been in communication with a couple of the pilots. They had a great launch. Launch directors, everybody did a great job, but they're trying to do that box. They're trying to box back in, but it's just not enough to east. But they're heading out to the northwest, and they're having a great flight and enjoying the countryside of Albuquerque.
That is great. So, Henry, what special things do you have on tap for this year, being it's the 50th?
Well, just being back and being part of it every year is what's special. But this year is one of the things we're doing at each of our morning briefings is inviting some of the past balloon meisters. Well, we invited all of them, but some of the balloon meisters that can actually come and attend the event, we're actually bringing them up onto the podium there, the platform, and introducing them to the pilots that are here today and letting them say a couple words and just letting them know that we truly appreciate what they did many, many years ago that's allowing us to do what we do today. And today we had Mark Wilson, who was the balloon meister in 1979. And I think Ruth did an
Ruth got a
interview with
chance
him
to talk
earlier,
to him, right?
Yeah.
He's a fantastic guy. He still lives here locally, but he has not been back to the Fiesta for a morning launch in many, many years, and he was just at awe.
That's what he was telling Ruth. It was really great to see that. What's the mood of the pilots over there at Pilots Briefing for this 50th?
Celebration. They're here to celebrate. They want to show their crafts. They want to interact with the folks. And what's so unique about this year is there are many people here that have come back from the ballooning community to be a part of it, whether they're flying or just to be here and be spectators and crew. But we're running into folks that we haven't seen for years. So it's making that connection again. And after a couple minutes of conversation, it's like yesterday. And then the other great thing about an event like this with so many people is meeting the people today that are going to be my friend tomorrow and for years to come.
Well, and you have to wonder how many people are here this year. You know, for so many of us old timers, you know, the 50th is a big thing. For some people, this is their first Fiesta.
Yes.
What will 50 years from now be like for them?
I know. It's amazing. So when I look back in 1996, our 25th anniversary
Right.
then, that was my first year flying as a pilot. And look 25 years later what I'm able to do and achieve. And with the team that's here helping everybody out. So that's the message, is that if you're the first time pilot here, there's potential in 25 years you could be the balloon meister. So don't ever think that you can't shoot too high. So, but enjoy the day, enjoy the week. It's going to be fantastic. I do have a gift for each of you.
Well, great.
And this really, let me hand it to Glenn. I want to explain. There's one for you and one for Art. You know, ballooning is about friends, and
Yes,
we
it is.
can't do it without our friends. And on that, and hopefully you can show it later to the viewers out there, there's 3 balloons on that. My balloon is on there in the center.
Yep.
But the 2 balloons beside me are my dear friends, Sam Parks and Ken Drawn.
Ken Drawn.
And that's
Yeah.
what it's about.
Yeah.
Is sharing this with the friends that we've made from years past, the friends we're making today, and looking forward to tomorrow.
That's an amazing pin, and I'm proud to say those 2 guys are very good friends of mine as well. I've had the privilege of having Ken Drawn fly with me in my balloon some years ago. I've never flown with Sam, but we've always been great close friends, have immense respect for what he does and what he's brought to this event and the organization and operation.
Yeah, it really is amazing. We're so happy that Sam is at the level he's at now, serving as the Director of Operations, and what he's brought to Fiesta and the professionalism and the other aspects of not just the balloons, but what the spectator experience is.
Yeah.
And just bringing it all together and putting on a world-class event. So
That's what this is, without question.
yeah. The other thing I'll leave with this is on the bottom of the pin to the right there is the silhouette of Sid Cutter. And we know what Sid Cutter, the Cutter family, and all of the other pilots that were part of the initial flight back in April of 1972. So we wanted to cause recognition or show out recognition to Sid and his family, and just say thank you to everybody that came before us that has put in place what we're able to enjoy today.
Well, and the other family that deserves mention is that of Tom Rutherford, who was there with Sid in the beginning at Coronado Center. And you talked about, aim high. I can remember coming here in the late 80s when I had just started announcing a few balloon rallies around Texas. And I thought, wow, I would love to do Albuquerque. But that was like beyond my wildest dreams. And Ron Berman took me behind the scenes, introduced me to Marge Ruppenthal, who was the chairman of the event at that time. And a year later, I got the phone call saying, are you still interested in coming out and being one of our announcers? And I was privileged enough to join and work with Tom for 25 years. He was the original voice of this event. And, and 33 years later, here I am doing this now with this brilliant gentleman sitting beside me. And from just talking on a microphone over a PA system to the crowd to now live streaming to viewers all around the world. I couldn't have imagined that in 1990 when I came up here for the first time.
No, you're right. Aim high and keep aiming.
Yeah.
And when you reach that level, go to the next level.
That's right.
So
Never stop. Always reach for the stars.
I'll do another interview. I'm going to tell you about a pin that made a connection with somebody over in Italy one day. I'll save that for another day. But I wanted to stop by, say hello. Thank you and your team for what you are doing to broadcast this out to the world. And I literally mean that. It is going to the world, as you know. And there are people that are waking up at 1 o'clock in the morning to tune in to see it live. So
they are.
Thank you again.
Thank you, Henry.
We're looking for a great week all week long.
We're looking forward to it. We'll talk more to you, and maybe we'll get out to pilot's briefing and see one of those honorary balloon meisters one morning.
Yeah, please do that. Look forward to you.
All right.
Super.
Thanks, Henry.
Yep. Thanks, Henry.
Henry
Thanks
Rosenbaum,
for coming up.
Henry Rosenbaum, the balloon meister again this year here at the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, kind of bringing us up to speed on what's going on. Our balloon camera and those that took off at 7 o'clock this morning still flying out there. We just saw a shot from our balloon cam of the True Lee balloon, Bill Lee.
Oh, yeah?
So, so it's a great morning. They're getting great flights in this morning. Henry said they've already heard back from a number of them that talked about some great launches this morning. And, yeah, what a sight.
Yeah, and the sky, it hasn't changed for hours. The balloons have changed, but the image is still the same because we just keep replenishing the balloons, keep refilling and refilling.
Yeah, it's just kind of extending to the north and the northwest.
Yeah.
The picture's getting bigger. You need a wider lens.
Yeah.
Take a look at Victor here. He's trying to get some pictures.
Hi, Victor.
Good morning.
It's just an incredible morning.
It is.
And what even the weather was cooperating. I mean, we talked earlier when we first started this about how unseasonably warm it is. It's so comfortable up here on the rooftop this morning. There've been years past where you and I have both been up here, icicles.
Yeah.
Everything but our back teeth were chattering. And, this year it's just so relaxed. And maybe that's why I said earlier it seems slow. It just seems more relaxed.
It's just nice.
It's just enjoyable.
Yeah. Here goes the cats right in front of us. And who's that? Oh, that's the new witch we're seeing on the screen.
Yeah, it's right overhead. Look straight up. It's just crossing right over the top
look
of
who's,
us.
Yeah, Mandrell's managed to box back,
yeah,
too.
but he didn't go out to the west. He stayed
over
on
the
here
east.
to the east.
He kind of boxed around the east side.
And was able to box around.
Yeah.
Crown Plaza has their balloon here. The Cosmic Crisp Apple balloon is here. That will be Steve Wilkinson, I believe, flying that balloon.
Yep.
That is the Cosmic Crisp is a fairly new variety of apple that was developed by some university researchers out west. I've not had one yet, but I'm told they're quite a delicious apple.
My wife Bobby has had those. She loves them. Jeff Ashworth coming right over us.
Well, see,
is that who you're going?
Yeah, it's no reports found. Okay, it didn't accept the word tartan because that's the New Mexico State tartan balloon. Right. Slanja and Jeff Ashworth. So I searched tartan and nothing came up.
Well, that would be the only one. So to put a search term in for one word would not be.
It's searchable. Come on.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a database that's searchable.
Yeah.
Get with the
it already searches on too many fields, I think. But
there goes Solaire. And
right in front of us here. Come right over the top.
Crown Plaza has their balloon just about, they're going to cross just to our left, right over the top of the Exxon Mobil tent. The 50th Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta is, of course, powered by Exxon Mobil, as is Balloon Fiesta Live.
That balloon is traveling light. Max Mitchell flying it. There's Cosmic Crisp right next to Koshari.
Yeah.
Coming over the top, it's a new balloon here in Albuquerque. It's the pink and black vertical stripes with the pink pennants.
Oh, okay.
Don't have it on the feed. That's Karen Converse. And Cosmic Crisp goes overhead.
That would be, once again, that's Steve and Cynthia Wilkinson flying Cosmic Crisp.
So the cow has deflated and they've put up the little Moo Crew Creamland balloon.
Oh, yeah, a little round balloon. Okay.
And that's one of our new shapes.
A couple of new shapes back there, too, yeah. I still see the flying saucer way back there in the background.
Yep.
Don't think they've ever launched.
There's Steggy.
Steggy, yeah, and I guess that's a balloon version of a Stegosaurus.
Yeah.
Thus the name Steggy. See, I'm more than just a hot air voice.
There you go.
I have some skills.
I don't have it in my brain what that other little guy is.
Hey, somebody's watching from Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, home of the groundhog.
Well, there you go. I saw China on the feed earlier, too.
You know, neither one of us have paid as much attention to the feed as we have in the past, but I've seen a lot of folks from Texas. I've seen Colorado. Somebody checked in from Chicago earlier today. I've just been so wrapped up with what's going on the field that I really haven't paid a lot of attention.
Yeah, just trying to keep up with and kind of get back in the swing of
things.
It's
kind of you got to get back in the saddle and ride, and so some of that's getting used to.
So that one I was looking at before is Mr. Globy. There's the back of Lady Gesture.
Yeah.
Gesture.
See, you read that as Mr. Globy correctly. I read it as Mr. Gobble. And I went, what the heck is Mr. Gobble?
That is an advantage of actually seeing some of these. And actually this year I worked with Jennifer Garcia, who's our associate event director and pilot coordinator in charge of all that. So I wrote the database that's on the back end, accepting all of the pilot applications and seeing all their pictures. So I do have it.
You get to see all this in advance, and I don't. I get it when I get to town.
I do.
So yeah, and you work on your app all year round. I get it the night before, and I'm supposed to figure out how it works. Of course, the fact that we've been using it for 5 or 6 years now is never mind.
Never mind. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I could do some homework, but then again, maybe not.
There is something called sleep, too.
Yeah, that too. Somebody from South Carolina looking for Tom Mullinax. Yeah, I haven't seen Tom yet either, but Tom's a good friend of mine. Good morning from, hi, Trevor. Oh, that was Jill saying hello. Now we have our own private message service going on the feed, people talking to each other.
That's been going on the YouTube feed all morning.
Yeah, they're not talking to us, they're talking to each other.
Well, that's because we haven't talked back to them.
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Mr. Gobble is Mr. Globy's evil clone.
Oh. Well done, well done. Somebody's awake this morning and got a sense of humor.
Yeah. So the little round Creamland balloon now in the air as well. See Ultra Magic up.
Pam Lombardo watching from Austin, Texas, the live music capital, right out of the Austin city limits. Good morning, Pam. You can actually hear a little bit of the wind in our mics now.
Yeah, a little bit of breeze coming up here.
Getting a bit breezier as the morning goes on. Look at this, what's this balloon off to the right here with the dragonflies on it? You know, Bobby and I, your wife and I were talking about dragonflies just this morning.
Yeah?
See the blue one right over the stage?
I do, I see it. I started looking earlier and I got distracted.
Okay.
So, let's see.
There goes the RPS balloon. And the PNC Bank balloon. Team RNS. They were RNS Motorsports, RNS Kawasaki, RNS Motorcycle. There've been so many RNSs, I've lost track of which is what.
Yeah.
It's all the same folks, just different.
They just keep changing the name.
Different iterations of the name.
You know, in my defense on my database here too, pilots keep changing balloons.
Yep.
And sometimes they send a new picture, and sometimes
they don't. Yep. There goes the Kashari.
If you think about that, we probably process more than 10,000 documents between pilot certificates and all those other types of things.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is called Dragonfly, by the way.
Oh, okay.
From, Jean-Mi Francois.
Yeah. Oh, nice balloon anyway. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, it's been here a few times, I remember. Looks like Loretta Zamora going right over us. I don't usually, Loretta's on a local pilot here on the Quad A Education Committee. She always flies here. I rarely see her in the sky, so I'll have to shout out to Loretta.
So Denver, Glen Allen, Virginia saying hello. Gray, Tennessee. Okay. Findlay, Ohio. Karen Green. Good morning, Karen. Just trying to catch up with some of the folks that are checking in on the feed, letting us know where they're watching from.
So I just saw Smiley go over our right side, over the south end of the field, Nick Donner. And there's some of our Main Street entertainers.
Oh, yeah.
So there's more than just balloons here. We've got
right.
an entire Main Street with roving performers on Main Street. We've got a Main Street stage, which after the balloons fly, will have entertainment on it. Somewhere on the order of 70 or 80 vendors down Concession Row. About half of them are food. Pretty much anything you could want over there. And of course, the official merchandise tents. There's one a little bit north of midfield and one at the south end of the field. I have to tell you, if you are planning on getting 50th branded merchandise, you should get that today. Do not wait on your 50th branded official merchandise.
There's not going to be any clearance sale, folks. Let's just get that right out of the way. Or fire sales or any of that stuff.
With all the COVID stuff, we've really ramped up our online store. And in the last year, our online sales have really taken off. And when we started introducing the 50th merchandise, it just ramped up even more. And so the stuff, even though we tried to buy more and try and have enough, remember, it's dated. It's only for the 50th, so it's not something that we can continue to restock.
Right.
So, if you're looking at 50th branded stuff, you need to get to the official merchandise tent soon. There's the Wyoming balloon. And if I spelled Wyoming right, I could tell you who was actually flying it. Bruce Pivick from guess where? Wyoming. So we're working our way through the second wave, maybe half to 2/3 of the way through the second wave. We're seeing a little bit more breeze right here on the surface, so we see a little more rocking and rolling of some balloons as they stand up. That's because as the balloon hits the fabric, it starts moving the fabric around because the basket's still connected to the ground. Once the basket gets off the ground and the balloon gets up to the speed of the wind, then in the balloon you feel no sense of wind. You still have the sense of motion. So our balloon cam balloon has landed and the chase crew has just arrived. That's the other thing. People always say, okay, so when do the balloons come back and how do they get back here if they just fly away? So the balloons fly off Today, they went south and up high. They're going back to the northwest, find a landing site out there, probably in Rio Rancho Corrales area, where there's more room to land. And the chase vehicles will now leave and literally chase those balloons and attempt to be there when the balloon lands or shortly after, if not before. And then they'll deflate the balloon, pack it all back up, come back to the field and refuel it so that it is ready for either tonight's glow. Good morning, Kendron. We talked about his balloon being on Henry Rosenbaum's pin, flying right over the top of us. Racer-shaped yellow with the diamond patterns on it. So the crews will pack up the balloon, put it back on the truck, come back, refuel it, get it ready for the next flight, whether that's the glow tonight or whether that is tomorrow morning's flight. With 650 balloons here, we usually glow a little less than 300. There's another shot of some special shapes out there. The tall green and black one is actually, that's the handle of a screwdriver. When that stands up, you'll be able to see the blade of the screwdriver. It looks like the Swiss Chalet right next to it. And off on the left, you still see the alien spaceship or the flying saucer. And there's Buster. Buster the Bulldog, Paul Burrows from Bristol. And look at that shot of all the balloons in the sky. Except that that's not all of them. That's just a small representation of what is actually in the sky. So we're getting ready to deflate the Fiesta balloon that carried our Balloon Fiesta camera live this morning. So Ray Bear, our pilot, graciously doing that. So he is now pulling the top, which is that opening at the top of the balloon. He's got a red line connected to it, a rope connected to it. He's going to pull that down, let the hot air come out. The balloon is just going to lay right over on the ground. The basket just tips over. Ray kind of steps out of the basket. The crew kind of starts grabbing the lines and start helping bring that down. Someone out on the crown line working to pull the top so that it doesn't just collapse right back down on top of the crew and the pilot and the burners. And as the crew starts to close off the throat there, so no more air goes in, and then they'll start to milk it. See how they're kind of pushing it together and squeezing that? That'll squeeze the hot air out the top. And so we'll get to see the deflation side of that if you're watching on the stream. For those of you here on the field, you can see it on the video walls if you happen to be near our Main Street stage. Of course, those of you here, you still got balloons. And actually, there does go the screwdriver out there on the far north side of the field as we continue to watch them pack up the Spirit of Fiesta balloon. So they're deflating deploying, inflating the blade of the screwdriver balloon. You can just see that in the top there. The big handle is really the balloon itself, and the blade is being deployed below them. I wonder if that fills up with, do they help fill it up, or does it just I'm wondering how that works. I'm wondering how that works. Oh, one of our other special shapes is up out there, too.
You wonder if they have a separate fan.
That's what I kind of wondered that.
Yeah, to inflate.
Because it's kind of, I mean, it seems like it is filling up with air of some sort. So, and all the pictures we've seen, it's pretty solid, so.
Yeah, but you're right. Now it seems like it's getting fuller as it's flying closer to us. So like maybe there's a fan in the basket.
I don't know. I don't know.
I know one thing. It's time for sunglasses. You know, I've got new eyes this year.
Yeah?
I had cataract surgery done on both my eyes back in the summer, so I no longer wear glasses, which means I no longer have to have prescription sunglasses. I can buy them off the shelf now.
Well, what a
which means
deal.
I can buy cool sunglasses again.
Oh, there you go.
So,
oh, yeah, look at those.
Yeah, aren't those cool?
We just saw Alfred the Carpenter on the video screen, another new special shape here.
Steggy has still not launched. I see him still sitting out there.
Yeah, as is Mr. Globy.
Mr. Gobble.
There goes the Swiss Chalet out there, though,
Yep.
of our special shapes.
Okay, now what is this directly overhead of us? Says holes work on
That's
the back?
Alfred. That's
Is that Alfred?
That's
Okay.
Alfred the Carpenter. When he
Okay,
turns
so we're
around,
looking
you'll be
at
able,
the backside of Alfred. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
That's his fanny pack you're reading, Hellsworth.
Now, oh, that's another new one, isn't it? What's that new little thing?
The one, that's the Swiss Chalet.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
There it was. It is right
I
there.
guess if I paid attention, it might help, you think?
And that's from Sweden, obviously.
Well, you would hope so.
Roman Mueller, and it's Roman's first time here at Balloon Fiesta.
Oh, cool. Well, see, I was just saying to Henry that there are some people here that this is their first Fiesta, even though it's our 50th, or is the 50th, not my 50th.
So LC is checking in. He says he's from Albuquerque, but he's watching from Houston. All right. Good deal.
Annie Smathers says, think it might be time for a nap. Annie, you're not far off. You know, it was, I don't know how you did last night. We were talking when we left the museum last night about having a speed nap overnight. You know, I was lights out at 9:15 last night.
I was not far behind you.
And the alarm was set for 3 a.m.
Ditto.
And, yeah.
And a full day. Saturdays always seem to be an especially busy day here at Balloon Fiesta.
Well, the whole opening weekend, for me especially, because today obviously is a very full day. Tomorrow we have, again, the Mass Ascension tomorrow morning, and then midday we have the Balloon Federation of America has its annual general membership meeting at 11 o'clock over in the Sid Cutter Pavilion, so I have to do that. That usually gets me back to the hotel about 2, and then I turn around at 3 o'clock and head back out here for the afternoon session. So that Sunday, opening Sunday is always my longest day. But yeah, this is a busy day, and I think part of it is just because of the adrenaline of the excitement and everything going on, getting started again.
Well, of course, on this first Saturday, today, we are also have the America's Challenge gas race scheduled as well.
Tonight,
so it's not just the morning flight like we're coming towards the end of a little bit here this morning, and then the glow tonight, but we also now have America's Challenge. There is a briefing for the pilots at noon today where there will be some sort of official determination of when they plan to make the launch happen. Someone has sent off a little pie ball thing over here, which is
with a little basket underneath it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't think they have permission to be in our restricted area here. But anyway,
the last I heard was, you know, they were looking for launch tonight, in part because there's some weather coming in from the west. They're going to try and get out ahead of it.
They're going to try and get out ahead of it. So if things go according to the predicted published schedule, then they would be able to start their inflation process somewhere mid-afternoon, 2, 3 o'clock, something like that. Doesn't take nearly as long as it used to with the old netted balloons.
Because now we have the quick
fills
process,
but the idea would be to start the launch at about 6 o'clock, which is also the time when our glow is kind of the launch of that, or the setup of that kind of starts.
Right.
So the glow starts more like at 6:30. So tonight, 5 o'clock, Fast Track's going to jump in. My understanding is they've stepped up their game on their flag jump.
Oh, boy.
So looking forward, of course, they always brought in, 5,000 square feet of freedom.
That's right.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
They tell me we're going to see more than that. And so that happens at 5. That'll happen here live on the field. We'll record that and play it back for our folks on the stream, although the folks here in the field, they have to watch it live at 5, et cetera. So we'll be basically on the air here at 6. If the gas balloons start inflating before that, we'll turn our video on earlier. so that people can watch that. But unless the launch gets moved up before 6 o'clock, we'll still be live on the air at 6.
Okay.
And then we'll hopefully get that launch of the America's Challenge out, and then we'll have our balloon glow tonight, the Twilight Twinkle Glow. At the end of the Twinkle Glow, we have Fast Tracks jumping in with their pyrotechnics.
Right.
Scheduled at 7:30, 7:45. We're going to bring our top secret, now so not top secret,
yeah.
aerial drone show.
Oh, yeah, right.
That'll be back at 7:45 tonight. And then our fabulous Afterglow fireworks.
Man, that's good. That's quite a lineup tonight.
It is quite a lineup tonight. You betcha.
Awesome. That's going to be fun.
So it will be a very full afternoon. And then, as you mentioned, tomorrow's the same. We don't have the America's Challenge, but we have the BFA meeting for those of us involved in that.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there is actually a welcome party for the pilots and crews today in the middle of the day as well.
Well, I think I might miss that.
Yeah, I might too.
I mean, technically, I'm not. I'm no longer a pilot or a crew. I mean, I am a pilot, but
yeah,
I'm not a registered Balloon Fiesta pilot.
Understand?
What I meant. Yeah. So, besides, I have a brand new bass guitar to go see at the hotel. It just came last night, and I'm going to go check that out.
Someone has asked on here, and I've seen it in our shots, and actually I can see it in the shot there, kind of in the center.
Yeah.
There is a tall white and red pylon.
Oh, yeah.
That is a cold inflatable. That is actually
I know.
You know. There are 4 of them. They are in each corner
of the
field, and they are 75 feet tall. And the reason they are 75 feet tall
Why is that, Mr. Wizard?
Well, that is because we got the whole stage here laughing. The 75-foot is the minimum altitude once you basically are over the field. So that's a way for our officials and our pilots to know how high is 75 feet.
Right.
It's the top of those pylons.
Unless you are launching from the field or landing onto the field, you must be at 75 feet minimum.
Right.
Anytime that you are over the field, because this is what the FAA classifies as a congested area. And it certainly is that now. A congested area being the gathering of people. And so for safety's sake, balloons must be a minimum of 75 feet above. And so that's a visual marker so that as pilots, particularly this comes into play later in the week when we get underway with our competition, where the pilots are flying into targets here at the field. They have to be at 75 feet until they get into the target zone, at which point then they can drop down lower to drop their markers. But that is a visual. That pylon helps the pilots too to know where the 75-foot mark is. If their basket, if they look, and they're below eye level with the top of that pylon, they know they're too low. They need to get up. So that's the purpose of those markers at each of the 4 corners of the field.
And this is a new special shape as well.
It
that
is.
We're seeing here. This is Teddy and Lindy.
Well, I was about to say, we see more of these double-sided special shapes. Coco the Clown, I think, was one of the originals with the happy clown on one side, the sad clown on the other. And now there's all sorts of these dual, two-faced is the word I'm searching for.
Well, there's kind of that big hug that we talked about earlier.
But that's two different
That's two
creatures,
animals, but they
animals,
look, because of the hug, they look different ways.
They're looking in opposite directions.
There's I think it's called Carnival now. It's the 3-sided gestures.
Yeah.
And now Teddy and Lindy. I'm not sure of the significance of this. There's probably something that I'm missing.
I'm sure
Someone
there's
knows.
a backstory that we don't know yet.
Yeah.
Probably someone online will fill us in. That's usually the way that works. As soon as we profess our ignorance, someone who's watching online says, "Oh, I know the answer to that," and they fill us in. We've got a great viewing audience.
There goes Sunflyer, Frank Bacon flying the blue balloon with the yellow Zia on it.
Rita Harris checking in from the city of Boston. Boston Beans.
How many propane tankers do you need?
Dina Lee was laughing at my joke about Mr. Wizard. I am nothing if not a comedian.
Well, there you go.
St. Louis checking in. The spirit of St. Louis. Let's see. Donna Lynn Vandiver watching from Grr is all it says. My feed ran out. Just Grr, G-R. maybe it'll fill out here in a moment. We'll see. Anyway, good morning, Donna.
And there's another new shape for us.
Oh, that's another clown.
Another clown. I'm going to double check the word, but I think it's Olaf.
Robert Gerstner checking in from Pensacola, Florida. Hope you're okay from the storm, Robert. I don't know the geography of Florida very well. Yeah, Pensacola, I think it's up in the Panhandle.
Yeah.
Because that's where the Blue Angels are, isn't it? In Pensacola.
I think so.
I think. I've been to the museum there before. I should remember that. Oh, Australia. G'day, mate. Checking in from Australia, Elizabethtown,
Checking in
Pennsylvania.
on our Australian pilots, obviously.
Yeah. Somebody posting what looks like German, having listened to Willie Eimers last night.
Oh, no, that one I was talking about is just called Clown. Tom Siebels from...
well, that's not very original.
No.
Gert Veerkamp checking in from Holland. Which reminds me, I haven't seen, I'm sure she's checked in, Ina van der Kratz from Holland. She's a regular. Another from Puxatawney, Pennsylvania. We had someone else checking in from there earlier.
Someone wants to know why that green balloon has a white rope hanging from the basket.
What green balloon with what rope?
That green balloon over there with the white thing, that's a screwdriver.
That's a screwdriver. And that's the blade of the screwdriver. But it did fill out eventually.
Look at, yeah.
So yeah, that's
we're gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, that's a special shape in that's not a rope hanging from the bottom. It's fabric meant to represent the blade of a screwdriver. I'm sure there's a corporate screwdriver company name on it somewhere.
It is. Let me just call it up here. Wera, W-E-R-A.
Okay.
Marcus Stroff.
Yes, Pensacola is home to the Blue Angels. Thank you. Robert says he just moved from Albuquerque out to Pensacola.
Yeah.
Well, timing is everything. At least, but the storm didn't go into Pensacola, so I'm sure he's doing well. Another Pensacola checking in. All right.
California.
The whole Blue Angels team is checking in this morning.
All right. Someone says Xfinity looks so new and white. We must have had a shot of it on the field there.
We did.
It is. It's a brand new, and it's a special shape. Did you notice that?
No, I did not.
It's a special shape. It's now got hearts as appendages on that white Xfinity balloon. So it now qualifies as a special shape.
Yeah, we got fairly loose with that special shape thing. Nowadays, anything with a three-dimensional appendage, I think Dean Carlton's Wags even qualifies as a special shape.
Because there's a little puffy nose.
And he has a three-dimensional puffy nose on the puppy, and that's all there is that's special shape about it. I'm not dissing Dean's balloon. Dean's a very dear friend, and it's a cute, cute balloon.
It is.
But, special shape used to mean that if it was a puppy balloon, it would look like a little puppy dog instead of just the face of a puppy on the side of a balloon.
I just saw Blair Kaufman's brand new balloon, Heart's Desire, on the screen, carrying the C&M banner, kind of purple, etc. And it looks like we've got some penguins inflating out there on the field now.
That would be Andrew Holly's group, and that will be Splash and Puddles and Tall Steve. I like the way somebody let me get back to this. There was a comment here from someone, if I can scroll back and find it real quickly. They may have moved past us, but someone was saying thanks for the front row seat. They were watching from St. Louis, and I thought that was kind of a cool way to put what we do here. We do give you, there it is, yeah.
Thank you.
Kim Loomis says, nice job, guys. Thanks for the front row seat while in St. Louis.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. There goes the clown in the air.
We could have said that about a lot of balloons this morning. If you get my meaning.
There you go. And there goes Blair in his C&M balloon as well.
So is that Blair Kaufman?
Blair Kaufman.
Yeah. Okay.
Brand new balloon. He flew it the first time last weekend.
Oh, really? Brand new?
Yeah.
Wow. The crowd now it's thinned out a little bit on the west, but it obviously has congregated as it does on the east side, and particularly the northeast, which is where the final usually the last few special shapes seem to be.
Well, that's where Teddy and Lindy and Puddles and Splash
and that's also where a lot of the vendors are, and so they get over there to.
Well, the Balloon Discovery Center is back this year.
Well, that's true.
And that is way out there on the north end of the field. A great place to go learn more hands-on about the whole idea of ballooning. Great opportunity. Right next to them, a little bit to the west of them, from our vantage point, if you're on the field, you may see some little pointy tents out there. That's the chainsaw carving. They do exhibitions starting about 8 o'clock every morning and have an auction at 10 o'clock of the work that they were doing. I was out there checking it out yesterday, and they were frantically making lots of little bear pieces because those are the most popular out there, and their work is all for sale and or for auction.
Yeah.
And then to the east of the Balloon Discovery Center and all of that, the Artisans Tent is there with great fine arts opportunities for you to purchase as well. One of the penguins is airborne.
Yeah, I can't tell which till they turn around, or I can see the color of the scoop. Good morning, Dolores. Dolores Black, a longtime good friend of mine, saying hello from Texas. Good to see that you're here with us. We usually catch up each year at Longview at the Great Texas Balloon Race, but weren't able to do so this year. Carol Ann Finnan says, looks like penguin. Yes, the penguins are inflating, all three of them. The whole family is here.
I only see two, though.
I like this. Well, yeah, Tall Steve, and that would be.
That's red. Looks like a red scoop.
Yeah, so that is.
And it looks like eyelashes.
Well, but the eyelashes and the red scoop don't go together. I'm trying to remember.
They would. No?
Yes, they would. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm not thinking correctly. So that would be Splash, I think. I always get the
I can't keep them straight.
I get the genders confused.
It would be, yes, that would be Splash.
Here's a great comment. Dina Lee says, "Aren't we all special shapes?" Well, some of us more than others, dear Dina, but
there
yes,
you go.
I guess we are.
That's it. Yeah.
Glen Rock, Pennsylvania. Loves watching. Love having you watch. Glad that you're with us.
You betcha.
Montana. The call letters. Oh, look at this. Here's, again, our audience coming to the rescue. The call letters on the clown balloon are Olaf. Remember Olaf from the Disney movie?
Mm-hmm.
Frozen?
That's why I remembered Olaf there, because it's the registration numbers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
they just call it clown. But yeah,
they
because
call
I thought
it clown.
that's.
But yeah,
yeah,
Olaf,
they call it clown, but yes.
Or the registration numbers. That's interesting.
I knew that Olaf was associated with that balloon somehow. Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our audience, once again, on top of it, where we're not.
Yep. That is perfect. So.
Sam Mailer, I hope I said that right. It's front row seats from Indiana today. Looking forward to crewing there next year. Well, come on down, Sam. No time like the present.
Sunny Arizona checking in. And look, the sky is still full of balloons out to the northwest.
Checking in from Oregon. Another person that originally from Albuquerque. I've seen several of those here this morning.
There goes Tall Steve now.
Yeah, Julia Alvarez Brown says, Puddles was damaged in California. Actually, Puddles was destroyed, but there is a new Puddles.
Yeah.
Puddles was destroyed in a very freak accident and fire.
That was strange.
Not involving the balloon flying. It was
in a parking lot.
Yeah, it was to do with the balloon being in a parking lot, and a person with some mental issues did damage to the balloon, actually destroyed the balloon.
And the truck.
Yeah, but there is a new Puddles. We just didn't see her this morning.
There's Tall Steve on the screen.
Yeah,
for those of you on the field, the red and white balloon with the blue and white, the blue background, the pennants going over Concession Row. There it is on the screen as well. That's Captain America Ron Centers from Portage, Michigan.
Anna Alvarez Rosas.
There's the back of tall Steve, in case you couldn't tell.
Checking in from San Antonio, Texas, which a city that always holds a favorite place in my heart. I worked there at WOAI Radio and KENS TV back in, 1979 to 81 for a couple of years or so there before I moved on to Dallas.
Hi, Sherry in Missouri. Looking forward to seeing you here when you get here next week.
Another one from West. A lot of Texans checking in today. That's good to see.
Got Paul checking in from Houston, Texas. Thanks for the great show. You're welcome, Paul. Thanks for joining us.
Melissa Terry, the penguin is precious, aren't they?
There's the front shot of Alfred on the screen.
Okay. Now I recognize that. Before I wasn't quite sure what it was because I could only see the backside.
Someone's asking when they close the field. They close the field when the winds pick up to be too much, or they finally say, you know what, it's late enough. You really shouldn't.
You really need to be landing.
You really shouldn't be getting in the sky at this point.
I noticed Travis Mathis, a friend from the Carolinas, has been commenting, did Tall Steve buzz the tower yet?
Nope.
And he is familiar with Andrew Holly and Andrew's attempts to buzz the tower, and I will say he has not yet, but he is nearing the point where he could buzz the tower.
He's definitely above the 75 foot, so he wouldn't quite call it a buzz.
I wouldn't call it a buzz, but he's definitely going to probably...
He's going to fly over.
He'll get close enough to drop a marker on us, maybe.
Yeah, but that's not allowed either.
No, as Andrew Holly goes over.
Remember we asked that one year?
Yes.
We asked Henry if Henry wouldn't let him do it.
Would not let him do it.
No. He's waving at us.
Yeah. Good morning, Andrew. Fly penguin. Hi, Roma.
Yeah.
So now, what is that artwork balloon down there I'm looking at? Do you see that on the field?
The kind of blue one?
Yeah. Is that new?
Or is that Cameron?
That's what it is. That's Cameron Wall's balloon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great balloon that it was created using art painted by his grandmother. We did a nice feature on that balloon in Ballooning Magazine some time ago.
Grandma's Legacy.
Grandma's Legacy, yeah. Yeah, his grandmother is quite the artist, and Cameron took several of her paintings, and they were all then printed onto white fabric and then matched and sewn into a balloon, which is it's a great tribute to his grandmother. There's that new Xfinity balloon you were talking about.
Uh-huh.
I don't think we're going to see anybody landing back here today. I thought maybe earlier we might, but it looks like everybody's going out to the west.
Yeah, we only had a couple get even close enough to make an attempt.
Right.
But as they would have come down, it would have continued to blow them off to the west a little bit. But, you know, while it's not a perfectly square box, this is a really good box because it takes them out. Directly north of us is the Sandia Indian Pueblo.
Yes.
And while that is a nice place to land, one of the issues there is because it is sacred land, the Pueblo officials really want crews, chase vehicles, and those things escorted in and out, and their resources to be able to provide those escorts are extremely limited. So if we can get the northwest direction, we kind of go off to the side of there. We don't impose on the Sandia Reservation, even though they're very friendly about it.
Yeah, they're great neighbors and have been for years.
Yeah, it's just easier for everybody if we can get that west direction.
Yeah,
because there's still more open space throughout the rest of the year here at Albuquerque. We fly out in that location all the time anyway. Yeah. And part of that too is due to the airspace around the Albuquerque airport. It's classified as a Class C airport, which means there's a 5-mile ring around the airport that goes all the way down to the ground, and then it comes out a lot farther. In fact, we're right on the edge of it here at Balloon Fiesta Park. So we get a waiver from the FAA to be able to fly at altitudes here. The year we don't have that waiver, so in order to fly in this space, we would have to be doing some extra communications and things like that. It's easier to go fly out on the west side. One, you have more room to take off and land, and we stay out of the busier airspace of the Albuquerque International Airport. Hi, Crossville, Tennessee, and Louisiana.
Penny Billingsley says excited to watch from Nebraska. We'll be there on Thursday. Well, good for you, Penny. Come on down.
Someone just got a picture of the folks in Tall Steve waving at us, and they're right over here off of just a road that's about a mile south of us here. Paseo, looks like.
Grandma's legacy is gorgeous, Joe Andrea says. And yes, that's an amazing balloon that Cameron put together. It is gorgeous, especially if you can see it up close. And what a great tribute to his grandmother. Fort Collins, Colorado says hello. A lot of people from the USA check in. You know, a lot of times we see a lot of international check-ins.
Yeah.
But it seems more this year, at least the ones that I've paid attention to.
And I noticed one that said they never even knew this event existed.
What?
50 years
Hello?
we've been here.
Where the hell have you been?
Glad you joined us.
Goodness gracious.
Hey, as we get ready to wrap down here this morning, let's just kind of run down the week of what the schedule is.
What's
and,
coming
and
up?
those types of things.
Yeah.
So, of course, Balloon Fiesta Live, which is what you're listening to on the field and watching on the stream. We are here at 6 a.m. Mountain Time every morning, 6 p.m. on the 5 evening events, which is Saturday, Sunday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Right. We take Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off.
There you go. And we have mass ascensions on Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. Competition and mini mass ascensions, if you will.
Right.
As we fly off the field and then do competitions in the morning. Glows on all of those evening events. We talked about all of those types of things. But this is really session number 1 of 14 sessions. So there are 13 more to go over the next 8 days. And we will be here bringing you all of it live on Balloon Fiesta Live. If you just tuned in, you missed any of it, you'll be able to go back and watch it on balloonfiesta.com. If you're here on the field, when you get home, the show will be there waiting for you so
That's
you
right.
can see everything you missed.
Absolutely.
While you were here on the field. You saw stuff probably that we missed, but I can guarantee we got stuff that you missed.
Yep. It's and again, if this is something like the general. I say gentlemen, whoever it was that commented they didn't know this existed before, they can go back and watch, years and years and years and years.
Yep.
Not decades, but we're getting there.
More than 200 hours of Balloon Fiesta Live coverage.
Absolutely.
Brought to
You can even go back and watch the Balloon Fiesta Live that wasn't a Balloon Fiesta when we did Balloon Fiesta Siesta.
There you go.
The year of the pandemic. That was fun when I worked.
Actually, that was really fun, and it actually worked really well.
It was great for me because I just had to commute from my bedroom to my office, from one end of the house to the other. Plus Ranger, my cat, got to be a TV star that year.
He did.
So.
He did. People still asking about Ranger.
Yeah,
there,
I need to bring Ranger out here one year, I suppose.
Don't forget America's Challenge, our gas balloon event, still scheduled for
hopefully tonight.
Hopefully tonight
Yeah.
at Inflation at some point mid-afternoon with the launch scheduled at 6. That'll be updated at noon. Once the balloons start inflating, the gas balloons start inflating, and we get close to what we think will be a launch, we'll pop up the live feed as soon as we can along those lines. We're still scheduled to come on the air at 6 p.m. again, Mountain Time, which would be 0000 UTC.
And no, actually it's not, because you always got that wrong. We're 7 hours difference.
Oh, until it
from over
changes.
there.
No, UTC. It's different than Scotland time.
No.
Well, then we'll just go with 6 o'clock Mountain Time, PM, and you can figure.
We're 7 hours difference from here to Great Britain.
Because we haven't changed back to daylight time.
No, it has nothing to do with daylight savings. It's just 7 hours. No, it's 6 hours difference. I know from because I keep a watch that has 2 times on it, UK time and local time.
Okay.
6 hours difference. There's
All
7 hours
we
difference
talk about
here.
this every time.
I know. Yeah.
Anyway, 6 o'clock a.m., 6 o'clock p.m., yeah.
Mountain Standard Time. You do the translation to your
time zone as well.
And don't forget, for the audience that watches online tonight, we will show you that brand new top secret drone show that we saw this morning.
Yep, you'll be able to see that right here on the show as well with our fast track jumps as well. Hey, let's wrap it up here from the rooftop studio, Balloon Fiesta Live, powered by ExxonMobil. Appreciate their sponsorship. I'm Art Lloyd Jr.
I'm Glenn Moyer.
We will see you tonight. Thanks for watching.
You've been watching Balloon Fiesta Live, powered by ExxonMobil. Want more balloon action? Visit the archive of all the Balloon Fiesta live broadcasts at balloonfiesta.com. And make plans to join us in person for number 51, October 7th through the 15th, 2023. Thanks for watching Balloon Fiesta Live. This program is a production of AIBF Inc.